Imagine driving past a place you've seen your entire life. A beautiful field, a beautiful swamp, and one day, when you go to pass it again, it's completely paved over. All of the trees that once stood there are now scraped into a circle in the center, and all of the beautiful grass is now cement wall. And there's a big sign, new luxury apartments. This is the reality of New Florida. Most of us have watched this happen, whether it's growing up in the area or going to a place we used to fish at, walk at, or spend time at, only to find out it gets torn down to put more roads and more shopping centers up. Florida doesn't feel the same as Florida anymore. Today, I want to talk about how rapid overdevelopment is destroying Florida's natural environment, the land, the wildlife, the springs, and even our drinking water. I researched reports from the Florida DEP, the Environmental Protection Agency, and the Florida Springs Council, and the Florida Wildlife Corridor Foundation. And I've watched huge areas from Pasco County all the way to Tampa disappear before my very eyes in the past years. This is something I deeply care about. What I'm going to explain to you today is the damage that's happening, the solutions that actually exist, and what Florida will look like depending on if we take action or not. Florida is losing natural land at a shocking rate. According to the Florida Wildlife Corridor Foundation, our state loses 20 acres every hour to developers. That's 20 acres every hour. Absolute insanity. It means forests, pastures, wetlands, wildlife habitats, all completely destroyed. And when this happens, the wildlife has nowhere to go. Black panthers, bears, deer, etc. are all now being pushed out of their homes into residential neighborhoods and into roads. You've probably seen more animals dead on the side of the road recently, and that is a big reason why. Another major problem is the wetlands. EPA reports that Florida has already lost over 50% of its natural wetlands. Wetlands matter because they're the nature's water filters. They clean the underground water, prevent communities from flooding, and protect our wildlife. When developers drain or fill these floodlands, the long-term impact is huge. Worse flooding, dirtier water, and fewer natural resources. Our springs and drinking water are also being pushed to their limit. According to the Florida Springs Council, spring flow in places like Weeki Rainbow River, Silver Glen Springs has dropped significantly because development around the area has increased so much. The developments are pumping too much water from the aquifer, which is our only source of drinking water. When the spring flow drops, algae blooms, creating an unsafe environment for us and for the ecosystem. On top of this, the Florida Department of Environmental Protection reports that runoff from construction sites, things like chemicals, oils, fertilizers, flow directly into the river and to the Gulf. These blooms kill fish, manatees, and damage our waters for swimming, drinking, and fishing. The problem is very real. Between population growth, nonstop development, and weak environmental rules, Florida's natural environment is being destroyed faster than it's able to repair itself. The good news is that there are real solutions, and they're already being used in certain places in North Florida. The state needs stronger land protection policies. That means protecting wildlife and wetlands instead of paving them over, limiting groundwater pumping around major springs, and forcing developers to build responsibility and not be reckless. The Florida Wildlife Foundation recommends preserving large connected areas of land so wildlife can actually survive. That includes buying and protecting land before the developers get to it. Programs like Forever Florida do this, but they need more support. Communities can take action too. One of the most important things we can do is show up to county zone meetings and development meetings. These meetings decide whether forests get bulldozed or saved. Hardly any regular residents go to them, which means developers usually end up getting what they want at the end of the day and paving over all of the land. We can also support conservation, vote for leaders who prioritize the environment, and push for stronger stormwater rules so construction sites don't pollute our waterways. These solutions actually work. Protected wetlands reduce flooding, wildlife corridors prevent animal deaths, better stormwater rules lead to cleaner springs and rivers, and we've seen this in parts of North Florida where change has already begun. Now I want you to imagine two possible versions of Florida's future. If we do nothing, springs like Weeki and Silver Springs turn green and algae-filled. Manatees struggle to survive, the panthers that we barely see completely disappear, and old Florida is completely gone. Flooding increases because the wetlands are gone, traffic becomes unbearable even more than it already is, and every open space gets replaced with more buildings. Florida stops looking like Florida and starts looking like every other overdeveloped state. If we act, this springs can stay clear and blue, wildlife can have enough habitat to survive, and communities become safer for flooding. We have cleaner drinking water, and the Florida that people love, the real Florida, can come back. This is a future that is still a possibility right now, but only if people actually take action. To wrap it up, Florida is losing land, water quality, and wildlife at a faster rate than ever because of the uncontrolled environment and development. The solutions are already known: conservation laws, wildlife corridors, smarter land use planning, and community involvement. This issue matters to me very heavily just because I've watched the places I grew up around disappear under concrete, and I don't want to see the Florida I love completely gone. So here's my call to action to you. I'm asking you to support a local conversation initiative whenever it appears on the ballot. These are meetings and decisions that determine whether thousands of acres get paved or protected. Once a spring is bulldozed or a spring is polluted and a forest is bulldozed, it's gone forever. Protecting Florida now is the only way to make sure the real Florida doesn't disappear.